My computer teacher told me about this competition that was organized by IIT Kanpur.
I would like to ask you, is cracking JEE really so tough?
I visited the campus and it felt like it was out of a movie or something. So it was quite challenging. Sometimes my motivation level was up, sometimes it was down. The JEE preparation is not a sprint, it's a marathon and you have to keep running.
This is really very important, that how you pull yourself from the point where you think that you have lost it.
I've written this in a letter to myself as well, that hope you are in IIT Delhi.
So, did you also try to use social media in your favor? We would like very specifically to know your views about that. Greetings to everyone watching us. Test Prep Cart today is in conversation with Ashmita Mehta, who has been from prestigious IIT Delhi. Actually, whenever we speak with the parents, the student fraternity all over the world, it comes to our mind what makes IIT so special. That's the first thing. Second thing is that what it takes to be an IITian, right? That's it. So a synchronization of both, probably it's going to be a very interesting and a very articulate thing, where today Asmita is opening herself up to the test prep cart. The test prep cart student fraternity, whosoever are the subscriber of our channel, whosoever are associated with us in whatever way, they all are going to be benefiting, right? The dedication of Asmita is something that is going to be praised by all of us. By the end of the journey, you would be able to know her beautiful mind with her beautiful thoughts. That's it. Now, the thing is that here, I mean, we are being candid with Asmita today so that all the students fraternity, all over the world, in India, in Middle East, in Southeast Asia, in Europe, in US, if students are facing any sort of hesitation, any sort of dilemma, you are the best person because you yourself are an IITian from one of the top IITs, Delhi, right? So you basically are the right person, right? Just to guide the whole student fraternity with your experience, with your thoughts, your advice, your remarks, and everything. So the very first question, though, I mean, it's going to be very surprising. But what basically is an ITM? I mean, why? Why so much so value? Is it a hype or really something? Though I must not ask this question to you whether it is a hype. But what basically is an ITM?
Yeah, so by the literal meaning, someone who is studying at IIT is called an IITian.
Right.
And
But what ITM is a mind, brain, personality, as a aspiration. This is what I'm trying to ask you.
So while I was preparing, I was just thinking that it is a very good college that I should prepare for. But then when I first went to the college and I saw that main building where IIT Delhi is written, I felt like it has been a years of legacy that people have carried and people have gone into various higher positions throughout the world. Like I meet people who are alumni of IIT Delhi, alumni of other. I see their profiles on LinkedIn.
You meet with these people?
Yeah,
How did you come across them?
I whenever if I'm working, maybe I was working at BCG, for example, for my internship. So there were partners at senior positions that were from IIT Delhi.
Right.
So there were so many people who are in such great positions. And then I felt like, oh, I have to carry this legacy on. I have to make my college proud as well. Other than that, there are also the culture there, the hostel culture, the clubs culture, the academics, the professors. So everything is definitely different what you would expect from a normal college, engineering college.
Right. So when did this idea hit your mind that you have to start your journey for being an IT and you have to get into IT or you have to get into engineering? When? What basically, how old you were when this idea struck your mind?
Yeah, so it started in class 9. I was my computer teacher told me about this competition that was organized by IIT Kanpur for school students.
Yeah. Each year it is organized by different IITs.
Yeah, it is organized as a part of Technical Fest.
Right.
So I I was interested about the competition. It was organized for school students, so I participated in that. I went to IIT Kanpur in class 9th, and I presented my idea. It was about solving some global problems. I presented an idea about climate change. I visited the campus, and it felt like it was out of a movie or something, because the campus was really nice, and the students studying there, they were very confident in their way of organizing such large scale events. And since then I, in class 10th, I started to look out for sources and how one can prepare for this exam, because it is definitely a competitive exam.
And this time you were only in grade 9th, am I right?
Yeah. So after 1 year in class 10th, I started looking out for coachings and online that time not many people were preparing online. It happened because of the COVID shift.
Right.
But that time there were many offline coachings and offline
We basically
centers.
have been doing it since 2nd of July 2008. So people, I mean, just like you, the people whosoever were preparing for this JEE Main, JEE Advanced NEET, right? They're not test prep card. I mean, we basically have grown into this, right? I mean, if you see any part or which is in India or abroad, no place is untouched by us. We have gone everywhere. I mean, we started our journey in India for this online education when the net speed was only 256 kbps. So then it was a privilege.
Yeah, that was not common then for students to prepare from online, and students were not even much aware because internet wasn't that available. And then in class 10th, I joined some classes near my home, and I started my journey. So it was 3 years of preparation. So it was quite challenging. Sometimes my motivation level was up, sometimes it was down, sometimes I scored good, sometimes I didn't score good. So it was a journey full of ups and downs.
See, this is which you said, that sometime your motivation level was high, sometime your motivation level was low. So why this happens?
I think now it has more happened because of students using social media, and there are so much stuff online that you can get access to. So the sitting capacity of the students have decreased, and other than that, students just get bored. Like if you don't get higher marks one time, you get bad marks, and you're motivated, and you're just overthinking.
Was it really something that the time you get the higher marks, you are motivated?
Yeah,
at the time you don't get that much of higher marks in our test or something, you are not so motivated.
If you don't see the results, so you get like, if I will not be able to do it, and you go into self-doubt.
Right. So how did you maintain a balance then? This is very important because what actually happens that when a student, this flux is very natural. Right. You can't be getting 100 on 100 each time. But it's also true that you won't be going going low beyond a particular point, because that is really something which is bad. So, but the art is that how you pull yourself up from that point. So, how did you do this in your case?
So there's this saying that I've heard, that the JEE preparation is not a sprint, it's a marathon, and you have to keep running. You can't do good once and then just give up and sit and wait. You have to just build up that stamina, maybe practice
temperament.
Temperament. That is one strategy that everybody should apply, because it's not about how smart you are, it's about how consistent and how hardworking you are throughout the journey.
See, we can feel the pinch, it's a very, just like the movie 3 Idiot, it was said that, okay, if you don't get the marks, you don't feel bad. But if your friend, if they are getting the marks, they turn into 4. Right?
That happens.
I'm sure that this happens.
Yeah, it happens.
But, this is really very important, that how you pull yourself from the point where you think that you have lost something. And then because being consistent is an art. But even for being consistent, you require a flow of motivation. So how was this in your case?
So having some source of motivation and something that works for you is really important. For me, I used to write, and like, I don't know, it might it helped me lesser my
Oozing
overthinking.
out your internal thoughts.
I've written this in a letter to myself as well, that hope you are in IIT Delhi and something like that. So that helps me think more clearly, and I'm not
just
overthinking.
To create a positive mindset. It's really wonderful.
And just putting it out on paper or in diary would help you not think about it and focus more on actionable steps, because otherwise you're just thinking, what if this happens, what if that happens. So instead of focusing on what ifs, you can focus on what you can do actually. And other than that, I also had posters in my room about of colleges of so that would help you, like whenever you see that, so that will help you. Also creating a maybe a timetable and some a list of things that you have to do, so that you can help hold yourself accountable. If it's just in the air in your mind, then you might not feel as disciplined as.
See, in this age of social media, no one can be kept himself completely, deprived of that, because there are positive aspects of that also. So, did you also try to use social media in your favor for
Mm,
something?
not while I was preparing, but when I was choosing colleges, like after I had my advanced results, main results, so I was looking for colleges because I had options.
No, that was something after cracking JEE.
Yeah.
During this period, what was your quantum of interaction with the social media now?
Not really. I didn't use Instagram and Facebook that much. I only
Right,
used WhatsApp to maybe chat with my friends, ask a few doubts with my friends or
right,
teachers. But apart from that, not really.
fine. Asmita, when we are talking about the preparation of JEE, right, it is basically there are some components of that which are your support system. It is your family, right? Second, your academic support, right? And third, the support that comes from within,
Mm.
right? We would like very specifically to know your views about that. What was the role of your family in your success?
My family, my parents have always motivated me to pursue. My mother is a biology teacher, so she once mentioned that you might opt for biology, but I was interested in maths. So I asked her, no, I want to do this. And she was supportive.
Yeah.
And my parents were supportive. My father was a bit against.
It is
Uh,
easy to say that your parents were supportive,
mhm.
but we are eager to know what way they were supportive.
Yeah,
Right?
so
Every parent is supportive.
yeah, so even if I have, like, I would get some lower marks, I would be sad, but they would be like, don't worry, keep working harder. Even after my second mains, which wasn't that good because of that COVID break, I didn't study much, and my second mains percentile was less than my first attempt. And
Yeah,
I
we know
was,
that. Yeah.
yeah, so I was very disheartened that I'll not be able to do well in advance and all of that. But then my parents were, don't worry, just keep yourself back, make yourself get back on the track. And then they also supported, even if you don't get it, you are still our child, and it won't matter much what your score is. And then yeah, and then even when I was choosing my college, they were also very keen on understanding what I want, and they were also very helpful to explore all the options. And finally, they asked me, "What do you want to do?" And they listened to what my choice was.
Okay, that's really great. So what about the support that came from within?
Yeah. So one pursues this journey, or any journey from that matter, if they have seen something and they want to be in that position. So that happened with me when I was at IIT Kanpur, and I saw that campus and the college. And that was the one time first motivation that I got. And then when you are throughout that journey, there are many times when you are low, as you said, when your friends get more marks as well, or whenever something bad happens, and you might end up alone, and you might feel that it's not for me, or maybe I can't do this, maybe other people are better. But you just have to think about what in the first place motivated you, and you are just as capable as anyone else who is in this journey. And it's not just only about how uh, intelligent you are born with, it's also about how hard you're working as well. So I think that kept me going. And that if I work hard, I'll be able to get that fundamental I would say line that kept me going. And yeah, I used to write in my diary a lot, as I told, so that I think kept me
Great.
going.
So that you can say that a big stress buster.
Yeah.
Right. Now, I mean, now coming to the academic part, which was your favorite subject?
I think it was maths, but I scored more in chemistry.
Right.
But I liked solving problems.
We
in
also
maths.
have heard that people, while paying attention to math and physics,
Yeah.
they are not so keen on paying attention to chemistry. Your
So
views?
it was for chemistry and maths for me. I was very scared of physics.
Hmm.
And now that I look
Any
back,
special reason you were scared?
yeah, now that I look back on this journey, it was not a wise option to be scared of a subject. But I was scared of physics, I think, because in physics, you have to understand a concept and then you can solve any question.
Right.
But I think I was lacking at somewhere understanding, and then I was seeing everybody is able to solve the question so easily, and I couldn't do that. So I thought maybe it's something that's wrong, and I cannot solve any of the question, because even for the basic level of question, you need to have understood the concept clearly. So I think that's what made me scared of physics in mechanics part, and then again in maybe the circuit part as well.
So I would like to ask you, is cracking JEE really so tough?
It is. Obviously there the percentage of students that are selected is very less, so there is a lot
Because
of
of the less
students.
opportunity, it is tough, or
Yeah, I think, and it's also tough because students have started preparing for a lot of time, so they are like every year the level of students are going up, they're practicing more questions. So it's, if you have strong will and you're consistently working hard, it is definitely possible. It's not impossible. So many students do that. You don't need anything special. You just need to be you just need to be committed to it.
so you mean to say that it's not a matter of difficulty, rather it's a
Hmm.
matter of being consistent.
Yeah.
Should have a passion for that.
Yeah.
So should an average student, should an average student dream for JEE?
Yeah, so many students who were average maybe till 9th or 10th crack IIT, and so many students who were so-called top of their class don't make it. It's a different game than how the schools judge students and school evaluate students. So it's more about how well you are able to understand things, how well you'll be able to quickly learn things and then apply them, practice them. So it's a very like you can everyone starts from zero from here. So it's not what you have done till now, but if you're interested, you can definitely.
So what was your routine
Mm-hmm.
for this when you started your journey, for this JEE preparation? What was your typical routine for a day?
Yeah, so I had this planner which I had, and I used to write about how many hours of physics, chemistry, and math I have done every day. Matlab, there was two sections. First one was planning, and then execution chart. So firstly, you plan for the week how much you want to do, what topics you want to do, and then next you write what have you done, so that you are also accountable to yourself as well. And I used to follow that. I also joined a library near my home because there were disturbances at home. You can't really focus. There is something, someone is coming, someone is going. Yeah. So I joined that library service, and there everyone is quiet. Everyone is studying around you. You have also teachers there to ask questions, etc. So I joined.
Was it a public library or what?
No, it was by a coaching institute. It was
Okay,
near my
okay,
home.
thank
Yeah.
you. Sure.
So
So the thing is that this was the strategy when you started your journey. Once you were being closer to JEE, was the strategy same or was there any change in that?
once I was closer, I started practicing more mock tests, which I earlier was doing questions maybe chapter wise, but then once I was closer, I started practicing more mock tests and do that test in the slot of the exam only. Like if your exam is from 9 to 12, so do that test in 9 to 12 so that you're training your mind to do that.
So
And
how were mock tests you were doing per day? Before 6 months, before 3 months?
I was doing maybe 2 or 3 mock tests per week, and then analyzing them. That is also a major component. So if you're not analyzing the test, just giving the test, so it will not be beneficial. So just
Here, basically, our message goes to the whole world that, we keep on talking that theory and concept are important, but
yeah,
just hitting on the application part is very, very important. So here in this regard, if you see,
yeah,
the test prep card, test culture is something, that is so robust and intense that each test comes to you with a great analysis. You know your strength, weakness, each and everything. So that is it. Now, coming to the application part, you said that you did 2 or 3 papers per week, right? Was it before 3 months or 2 months or 1 month?
Well, it was 2-3 months before.
Right. And 1 month before the exam?
Yeah, I was doing more. I was doing 4 or 5 per week.
One test every day.
Yeah,
Right?
almost.
That is it. Apart from that, your focus was also on theory and concept during this period of time?
I was revising
Revision.
concepts. Yeah, this short notes. Yeah,
Short
not
notes.
going through everything again.
Yeah, that was not possible. That
Yeah.
otherwise it would have made you more burdened.
Yeah.
Unnecessarily, right? So to keep yourself objective, the closer you are to the examination is a very good step.
Yeah.
During this time, stress it comes.
Yeah.
Right? Anxiety, it is created, right? The goosebumps and all. How did you manage?
Yeah, after every test, you are seeing your marks and like Googling what would I get in these marks. This is not an actual test, though. That was a mock test. So after every mock test, I was analyzing my marks, what I would get. So it is very common to get overwhelmed during that phase and get anxious. But you should just keep in mind that you are at the end of the marathon at that time. So it's just some more time, and then you will just give that final exam and you'll be free
But that
from it.
really
And
matter of great anxiety. I mean, know that so many students are preparing.
yeah,
I'm one of them, and even a single mark, mark, it makes a big difference.
yeah.
So that is something where you have to calm down your nerve and everything. I mean, so how did you manage that? Everybody would be very interested in knowing that.
Yeah.
But that's the main time. If you press the panic button, then you are lost.
Yeah,
Right?
it's you should just definitely focus on your strengths, work on them more, polish them more. You should try to feel more confident.
When you say strength, is it good just to be good where you are already good at?
No, you should be aware of that to make yourself feel comfortable and confidence that
Right.
I am able to do this and I'm confident with this. And then you should focus on areas that require improvement based on the analysis as well of the exams. And you should try how much more can you achieve in the short period of time. You should just consciously throw all the thoughts out of what if this happens, what if that happens out of your brain. It's difficult, definitely. I've been through that journey, but maybe you can take few walks and in a park or something.
Being with the family,
yeah,
talking to them.
talking to them, playing something games with them for maybe half an hour or something during the day.
Right.
And yeah.
Any fear that whatever I have learned, I would be forgetting the examination?
Yeah, that happens. What if I just go blank and what if I don't recall anything? But practicing mock tests is the only solution for that. Just practice it every day and just feel like it's the 8th day that you're doing the test. Practice with the same feeling every day that it's the final test. So you will become more comfortable and make an examination setting maybe in your home, just nobody's disturbing you, and practice with that concentration.
What was your thought last night before the paper? Like you prepared for 1 year and the next day is your paper.
Yeah, so I usually slept around 10 or 11, but that night I knew that I would not be able to sleep, so I went to bed around 8 or 9.
Were you anxious little bit?
Yeah, I was anxious. My paper was
that is something that tomorrow I have to be at the best.
Like kind of battle day.
Yeah.
Whether I would be the best at that time, 180 minutes, right?
Yeah.
That is it.
For mains, it was a bit less hectic because there were 2 attempts at that time, and you can maybe do better. But for advanced, it was very hectic because it's also a 6-hour paper, and if you don't sleep well, you won't be able to perform well the next day.
How did you able to manage it? Like, what was your like kind of thought behind it? Like, I have to do it.
Yeah, I was about.
Like, what was your thought behind the paper? Like, you have to like give advance in mains.
Yeah, but from first mains I was excited because I was preparing for 3 years now, and I was excited. Let's just put it out there, whatever I have learned.
It is.
Yeah, and during the paper as well, there was this question in physics. I remember it on units and dimensions. I was trying to solve it for like 15 minutes, and it wasn't I wasn't able to get any answer from that option. Later that was corrected, and that was a wrong question. So that can help, and that can mess around with your brain as well, because that's such a simple question from units and dimensions, and you can get panic in the exam that if I'm not able to do it. So that is also there. You should keep in mind about that.
During the your paper, like, were you stuck anywhere at any part?
I was stuck here. I was stuck in questions in chemistry. In my paper, there were a lot of 2 or 3 questions for bonus afterwards. So this can happen as well. And I wasn't prepared for this. I was like, the questions must be correct, and that helped set me back a little. But then I left that question. I moved further, and in the last, I also came back to it again because it was such a simple question.
So,
But then finally,
like, after attempting the paper, you were like coming off out of the exam center. Like,
Yeah.
how was the feeling? Were you literally anxious, or like literally free that I have given the paper, whatever it is?
I was just concerned about that little question because, but then I was confident that I've attempted a good amount of questions. I came back, I looked on the internet, yeah, everything. So yeah,
So, like, after attempting the paper, you saw the answer key. So, from that till then the result date, like, like, were you little bit like
yeah, I
tensed about it?
calculated my marks,
Okay.
and there was, because there is normalization that happens, so you don't really know where you would stand. So I wasn't expecting. I got 99.56 percentile. I wasn't expecting that because my paper didn't go that well, but maybe because of normalization and everything, I got that percentile.
So, like, recently you graduated from IIT Delhi.
Yeah.
So, like, what kind of like advice would you like to give to the students who are aiming for IIT Delhi? Like, it is a very prestigious college. So,
Yeah, I just want to say that don't get burned out in this process, because many students get burned out in the preparation process, that they don't really uh, make use of opportunities that are at IIT Delhi, and they don't really work hard till that level. They are like, students just fail in courses as well. So there are cases like that as well. So just don't let your potential go to waste after making that. So JEE is just not the end, it's the beginning, right? So your college life and everything after that will decide your career and what you want to do. So that is the advice. Just prepare, but don't over exhaust yourself. Prepare, have little sessions with your family as well, go out for walks as well, and yeah, give your best.
so, like, for motivation part, were you using music for motivation or anything?
I used to listen to music, but not really when I was putting in the focused hours,
Like,
because
while
then
studying,
it will come back again
the
during
lyrics
the
and all
exam.
lyrics.
During the exam when you're writing, it will come back. So don't do that much.
So my question is that what were the books that you followed during this journey?
Yeah, so there are some great books that I followed as well. For physics, it's obviously H.C. Verma,
Verma.
Irodo, and chemistry, maths, there is
Here I
Cengage.
would like to
and-
mention that for Erodo, you can on our YouTube channel, the very important questions of Erodo, approximately 150 questions. We have presented the solution to the student,
That's
and that
great.
you must have seen that.
Yeah.
That's it. Yes.
So that's really nice, because
Yeah.
I used to look also, because every question you can't ask your
Yes,
teacher and
definitely.
your friends. You also hesitate sometimes. So if you find some solutions where people have recorded, and so that's a great resource to have.
And for math, which books did you follow?
Cengage, there's
Okay.
Cengage, yeah.
And this one,
Chemistry also. Cengage.
Okay, that's good. So my last question to you is that what is your message to the students who are watching all of us currently, whosoever are the aspirants of JEE all over the world?
Yeah, I think if you make it, it's definitely worth it. And even if you don't, if you're working hard for something, you at least learn how to work hard, understand concepts, apply them. So you'll definitely do great in your lives as well. If you are uh, going on this journey, keep giving your best, you'll learn something out of it, definitely.
Great. So many more hearts to touch for you, Asmita. We wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.